Nothing like a strong woman that takes what you want. That's powerful.
We make history when you step on that football field.
Now's the time to release that anger, that pain on them.
Do you believe in miracles?
They don't deserve no mercy. Them getting put down or they get laid down.
The most successful people in life have failed. We have failed. Everything we've ever asked for is right in front of us right now. So let's get it.
A special championship banner unveiling night right here in Chicago as we celebrate the 2018 Legends Cup champions. Welcome inside the broadcast booth of LFL Football Night. Mitch Mortaza and Bobby Huco. Joining us a little later, Heidi Golznig, the third member of our broadcast team. Tonight, we've got another rivalry matchup for you, the Atlanta Steam versus the Chicago Bliss. And when you look at the history of these two, Chicago has really owned Atlanta. But folks, this is not the same Chicago Bliss team. This is not the team that's won 4 out of the last 5 Legends Cup championships.
You're right, from top to bottom, a completely new team, starting with the coach. Sid Lewis, he wants to develop a strong off-season program, hopefully to lead to some more championships. And at quarterback, enter Tamika Robinson. Last year, they had Jane Caldwell, a converted running back. Everybody wanted her to be the franchise quarterback. She never got there. Tamika Robinson's a better athlete, solid in the pocket. She's fast, a great leader, and surprisingly, a great arm.
Yeah, everybody's intrigued to look at number 4 in the pocket. That's going to be an experiment. We'll see if that works out for Chicago this year. And when you talk about the Chicago team, I hinted at it, they're in rebuilding mode here for sure. And if you're going to rebuild, what better piece to have at the center than Kristen Morrison, the former Defensive Player of the Year?
Probably the most gifted athlete in the LFL. At middle linebacker, she goes from sideline to sideline, literally like a cheetah. She's fast as anybody in the league, a short tackler. I'm looking forward to watching her play.
Let's talk about the Atlanta Steam. This is the team that is the odds-on favorite to represent the Eastern Conference and Legends Cup 2019. For that to happen, it's got to be their signal caller, Dakota Hughes, leading the way. Our own Heidi Golznig sat down with the Cardiac Kid to talk about, is this the year that she gets the monkey off her back?
Thank you, Mitch. Earlier in the day, I had the opportunity to sit down with one of the true elite quarterbacks in the LFL, Atlanta Steam's young signal caller, Dakota Hughes. Hughes and this Atlanta team have been at the doorstep of hoisting a Legends Cup trophy, but never broken through. I wanted to get Hughes' thoughts on whether or not 2019 is their year.
Dakota, this is now your 6th season in the LFL and with the Atlanta Steam. You receive so much praise, but I'm sure you've heard the critics say she can't win the big one. How do you respond to those critics?
I don't really care what they have to say, if I'm being honest, because they're not the ones playing football, it's us. Obviously, I know I've never won a championship. That's a pretty obvious statement. So I don't really care about them. I just, fuel myself with my teammates and my family and the people who I love, who support me the most. That's who I listen to, and that's how we get better is, we forget about the people on the outside because they're not the one playing the game. It's us. We're going to focus on us, and we're going to do what we do, and we're going to play football.
Certainly, Hughes wants to get the not being a championship quarterback monkey off her back. And tonight will be a great test to see if Atlanta is truly the Eastern Conference favorite. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Heidi. Dakota Hughes and company come into Chicago hoping to spoil their championship celebration night, while the new-look Chicago Bliss will look to continue their winning ways. Next! Back to LFL Football Night. There's downtown Chicago, Illinois. We're just north of there in Hoffman Estates for an iconic battle, the Atlanta Steam versus the Chicago Bliss. And if there's one key for both these two teams en route to a victory possibly tonight, what are those keys?
Well, it's going to be the quarterback play. This is a quarterback's league, and we have two extremes here. We got Dakota Hughes for Atlanta, the elite quarterback in the LFL, going against Tamika Robinson, a running back, a project quarterback tonight. Who plays better tonight will win this game.
Tamika Robinson, very challenged, was an outstanding all-fantasy wide receiver last year, converting to the hardest position in all of sports. That's not going to be easy, number one. On the other side of the field, the Atlanta Steam, you've got Dakota Hughes. Hughes has played this game, as you recall, Bobby, since she was 18 years old, has had a lot of success, but not in the big game. She's been in the Legends Cup, hasn't managed to win it. In fact, our own Heidi Golznick sat down with Dakota Hughes.
What drives you to compete outside your teammates, coaches, and fans?
I think just from being a little girl, I mean, at 3 years old, I asked my dad to teach me how to throw a football. So it's something that was just already instilled in me. And that's something that it was the one thing I wanted to do since I could barely walk and I was wanting to throw a football. So one of those things where it's just inside me. I was always an athlete, always a competitor. And, this is my way to let that all release and to just feel like I am the person that I am. That's how I am out there. That's me.
Dakota Hughes came back this year for one reason. She was retired, but she never won the Legends Cup. Yes, she has to win tonight, but her goal is to win it all this year.
And you could see, coming off a subpar type year, only a 71 QBR, she's a little more hungry this season. 1st and 10, that's complete. In the open field, that is Lauren Ziegler. That took all of about 10 seconds. Touchdown, Atlanta.
Wow, welcome to Atlanta where the players play. What an opening play, just a slant pattern. 3 defenders are there. They overrun Ziegler. She goes coast to coast. Wow, what an opening play for Atlanta.
I gotta tell you, that was a simple slant pattern, and you could see their defenders literally giving up on that play. This could be a deer in headlights early for Chicago.
This stadium is in shock right now. Atlanta came out firing just like they did last year. Dakota Hughes looked like it's midseason right now, on the board in one play.
That's Chicago's secondary completely lost, and that's the extra point attempt. Good. Converted by Nicole Hulse, the 5-foot rookie running back.
A major power outage for the Chicago defense. First play of the season to let it go coast to coast. That is unbelievable.
So here comes the gauntlet. Here's the test early for a very young and inexperienced Tamika Robinson. You find yourself down 8-0 early.
Her first series ever at quarterback. She's got to be feeling butterflies right now. You want this game to open a positive way. Right now, they're down points immediately. Let's see if they open it up or keep it on the ground just to keep her calm.
I think it's going to be kind of a test of will at this point. Do you hit the panic button early, or do you settle into this offense and let the game come to you?
Number one, Tamika Robinson has to take a snap. Get the ball. They're doing a quarterback sneak, very conservative first play, but you know what? She's got to get rid of those butterflies.
That is a 2-yard carry by Robinson, and now we meet Chicago's starters.
Kate Mustin, center.
D. Hightower, tight end.
Tori Giles, tight end. Ty Ali, wide receiver.
Jocelyn Gray, wide receiver.
JaVale Thompson, running back.
Tamika Robinson, quarterback.
There's no question JaVale Thompson is the key tonight for Chicago. She's going to get a lot of touches.
And there she is, a nice 9-yard carry on a 2nd and 8. And that's how you take the pressure off a young quarterback in Tamika Robinson.
She is a very talented running back. If you remember, she stole the position from Crisdell to Ferrari Harris 2 seasons ago. She is their star player on offense. With a young quarterback, you've got to give her the football.
Thompson, one of the most underrated running backs in recent years. When you look at her numbers, it has been very steady. Now a 1st and 10 from the Atlanta 24. Another handoff to Thompson. Great tackle by Wachowski as we meet Atlanta's starters.
Rachel Blacklock, defensive end.
Dino Jowski, defensive end.
Keon Harrison, middle linebacker.
Lauren Ziegler, safety.
Jolie Fezakai, your strong safety.
Amber Clark, corner.
Michelle Marshall, cornerback.
Keeping an eye on cornerback number 10, Amber Clark. She is arguably the number 1 shutdown cornerback in the LFL.
A 2nd and 14 in motion. This offense seems a little out of sync, but JaVale Thompson on a cleanup run, a gain of 9 yards.
That is the game plan for Sid Lewis. He knows he has a young rookie quarterback who really can't throw the football as well as the other quarterbacks in the league. Javelle Thompson is his only go-to running back that can get positive yardage.
And that's really what you got to do right now. You don't have any receivers on the outside. You have an untested quarterback. Really, the only option you have is someone that has produced in recent years for Chicago, and that's Javelle Thompson. 3rd and 5, ball at the Atlanta 19-yard line. And you can see that Atlanta defense keying in on the run, but Javelle Thompson able to get the edge and breaks off another 8-yard run.
Really conservative offensive set so far, but you know what? The only way to get experience is to live the experience for quarterback Tamika Robinson. She's doing a good job right now getting the snaps and handing the football off.
And when you're a raw roster like the Chicago Bliss, you've lost all notable starters with the exception of maybe Kristen Morrison, Javelle Thompson, and Tamika Robinson, who's playing out of position. You've got to just stay in this game going into the 4th quarter and hope the ball bounces your way.
I'm pretty impressed so far. They're moving the football. They're in the red zone already.
1st and 10, ball just outside of the red zone, actually, at the 11-yard line. That's Tamika Robinson, a quarterback keeper. That'll be good for 7 yards. So I tell you what, this offense is cranking right now.
I'm not sure she made the right read on that. I think that play was supposed to go to right, but she was so far out of context with it, nobody went with her. They're moving the football.
This offense is doing exactly what it should be doing at this point, and that's just to stay in this game and somehow keep pace with Atlanta.
Right now, the front line of Chicago, Kate Meston, Dina Hightower, and Tori Giles, they are controlling the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 3. Ugly looking handoff. I don't think Javelle Thompson expected it.
We get in this bitch.
But you see there Tamika Robinson, a little miscommunication between her and Thompson. But Tamika Robinson managed a 1-yard gain. That'll set up a 3rd and goal.
That's what Tamika Robinson gives you at quarterback. Definitely they flubbed up the handoff in the backfield. That was supposed to go to Javelle Thompson, but she being the athlete she is, she makes yardage out of nothing.
So now a 3rd and goal from the 3. Do you go to play action here? They have not gone to the air at all on this drive.
I'll be shocked if they don't give the football to Javelle Thompson again. That's what got it down here. That's what's going to try to get in the end zone.
3rd and goal, toss play to Thompson. That was the entire front line of Atlanta attacking Thompson.
Dane Robinson is the defensive coordinator for Atlanta. They know that Thompson is Chicago's offense. They're going to come up to the line of scrimmage. They're going to force them to pass the football.
So now interesting, a 4th and goal at the 4. Unless you try to go play action here, they're going to stack the box and get after Thompson again.
Dane Robinson knows that, so he's going to stack the box and go right after the quarterback.
Well, you've got an empty backfield now. They're got to throw the ball. 4th and goal. Ball again at the 4-yard line. We've got a bit of motion. A quarterback keeper. Look at the tackle. That is the all-fantasy corner, Amber Clark, not fooled at all.
What a takedown by Clark. That's why she's a shutdown cornerback. Tamika Robinson has wheels, but Clark just nailed her one-on-one tackle. That's how you play LFL football.
So after a promising drive, the Chicago offense stalls out. Meanwhile, Atlanta up 8-0. Back to LFL football night. The Chicago Bliss, the hometown Bliss, trailing Atlanta 8-0.
That Atlanta defense, they bend, but they don't break. They get the ball back to quarterback Dakota Hughes' hands. Let's see if she goes deep early again.
So 1st and 10 after the Chicago offense stalled out. Ball at the 3-yard line, full backfield. Dakota Hughes handing off. That's the rookie, Nicole Hulse. Good open field tackle. Now let's meet Atlanta's starters.
Dino Jowski, the center of the LFL.
Jolie Fezakai, your tight end.
Aubrey Williams, tight end.
Lauren Ziegler, receiver. Michelle Marshall, wide receiver.
Nicole Hulse, running back.
Dakota Hughes, quarterback.
Watch for Atlanta's free agent acquisition, Michelle Marshall. She's the bookend this year for Dakota Hughes to throw to opposite Lauren Ziegler.
Something interesting happening down on the field. That's the third straight carry for Nicole Hulse if you go back to the extra point attempt. Do they know something we don't know about Hulse?
Dane Robinson, the head coach, he told me that Hulse was the last one to make the roster. She almost got cut. But then since that time, she's earned a starting position, and it shows. When she puts her foot down, she goes north-south in a hurry.
Flamingo.
So now a first and 10, 2 plays later. This offense was backed up inside the 3-yard line. They're gonna go back to the ground, this time Aubrey Williams. And what a tackle by Tate Blase, one of the many rookies on the defensive side of the ball.
That is hard to do. That's a Y underneath, one-on-one tackle. Tate Blase, she's a stud inside, and she showed it there.
I think most of the LFL fan base are seeing these faces for the first time, much like we are. We're used to seeing the likes of Dominique Collins, Kristen Morrison, and in fact, we're getting a report now that Kristen Morrison is out of this game. We'll try to get an injury report as this goes on.
That is huge. Kristen Morrison is the Chicago defense. If she's out, it's going to be a long night for Chicago.
Lauren Ziegler on a reverse of 10 yards. That'll set up a 3rd and 3. We'll see if Nicole Hulse gets back into this game, still on the sideline. A lot of weapons offensively for Dane Robinson.
Lauren Ziegler, she's shown that age has no barrier, just a limitation put in her mind. She's been playing 9 years and still one of the best in the game.
Now a little play action, looking down the field, and that was nearly intercepted by Kim Randall.
That ball should have been intercepted by Randall. That could have been a key play. She could have taken that ball for 6. It was right in her hands. Falling backwards, nothing on that ball. That should have been picked off. Huge miss right there. Even though it's a broken up pass, that's a miss for the Chicago defense.
An excellent opportunity. That ball was well underthrown, intended for Jolie Efezikai. Setting up a 4th and 3 on the 24 of Atlanta. A full backfield, Alfie Gore and Nicole Hulse. That's Hulse. Look at the speed to get the edge. And that'll be enough for an Atlanta first down as we wind down the first quarter of action here in Chicago, Illinois. The Atlanta Steam leading it 8-0 behind the wheels of Lauren Ziegler.
LFL Mobile, giving you access to the gridiron goddesses of the LFL with exclusive photos, videos, live game reporting, and fan promotions. LFL Mobile. Download on your Android or iPhone.
Back to LFL football night for second quarter action. Mitch Mortaza and Bobby Hugo on the call. Heidi Golznig on the sideline. So a 1st and 10, ball at the 20 of Chicago. The ball goes to Alfie Gore. We have not called Gore's number tonight. That was a nice looking 6-yard carry.
That was an inside trap following the block of Dina Wojcicki. Great block by the center. Alfie Gore, she is a blue-collar running back. We don't talk about her a lot, but she pounds out 5 yards every time. Doesn't get superstar status, just a solid football player.
Got some time last year in the backfield. Head coach Dane Robinson and offensive coordinator Mark White liked what they saw of her. Now a 2nd and 4, ball at the 14. Toss left, back to Hulse. And that's Hulse in the open field. A lot of speed. That was a 9-yard carry, setting up a 1st and goal.
Great outside stalk block by Lauren Ziegler, gave her big yardage out time. I like this combination of Hulse and Alfie Gore. Like Dane Robinson told us before the game, it's his thunder and lightning.
Nicole Hulse, again, coming out of nowhere, was a rookie. You mentioned it, barely made this roster. And to this point at least, she's vying for that starting spot at the running back position.
This offense looks solid. With that running game, we knew they had an outstanding passing attack. Wow, what an offense for Atlanta.
1st and goal, full backfield. Aubrey Williams. Touchdown Atlanta on a tight end release play. Great mixture of the run and pass game on this drive.
What deception by Dakota Hughes. I'm glad she came out of retirement. She's a generational quarterback, one of a kind. We always talk about Ashley Salerno being the GOAT. I'm going to tell you what, if Dakota Hughes stays in the game, she might become the GOAT.
And Aubrey Williams, that is a free agent signee, one of several from the Austin Acoustic, including Michelle Marshall, paying early dividends for the Atlanta Steam. That's the extra point, easy. Connection with Jolie Afezikai. So now Atlanta up 16-0.
What a passing attack. The addition of Michelle Marshall on one end let you put Afezikai inside at tight end. So now you have two outstanding wideouts with a 6'1" tight end, Afezikai. This offense is outstanding.
So that was a 9-play, 47-yard drive, taking up 4 minutes with great mixture of run and pass.
The only chance they had at stopping this potent Atlanta offense was to have linebacker Kristen Morrison in the game tracking down all these athletes. She's out. I hope she's not out for the game, because if she is, it's going to be a long night.
Yeah, that was one of the few veterans left on this roster. Former Defensive Player of the Year, now could be lost, at least for this game. 1st and 10, toss left. That's Javille Thompson. Meet Keon Harrison. And that's Lauren Ziegler late to clean up. A loss of a yard.
Keon Harrison, she has a violent edge coming off the edge. Another superstar on this Atlanta team. On paper, they're one of the best in the league.
A 2nd and 11 after that 1-yard loss. Harrison was set to sign with the Omaha Heart. Visited them in the offseason, decided to re-sign with their old team, the Atlanta Steam.
Just like in college, you have to recruit during the offseason. Dane Robinson, the head coach for Atlanta, is one of the tops at bringing free agents in.
2nd and 11, ball at the Chicago 14. Full backfield set. You got a receiver in motion. Robinson fakes the handoff, gonna throw the ball. No, now electing to keep it and loses it. Chicago may have recovered. Robinson was blown up. And you could see that's your starting quarterback down right now.
You can tell she's a rookie quarterback. She has time to throw, but she's a runner. She chooses to run and gets blown up against the wall. I hope she's okay.
This could be absolutely devastating for a Chicago roster already very inexperienced. They've already lost Kristen Morrison. They could ill afford to lose Tamika Robinson.
Their starting quarterback, hopefully she's not injured, but she tried to run the ball instead of throwing it, and she got popped.
We will take an injury timeout. Back to LFL football night. The Atlanta Steam leading it 16-0. And it appears we've got a backup quarterback in the game, Chaz Duzon.
Chaz Duzon, she has a better throwing motion than Tamika Robinson. Again, here's an inexperienced quarterback taking her first snap. Not a good sign for Chicago.
So a 3rd and 14, ball at the Chicago 11. Ugly looking handoff to Javille Thompson. Thompson limited to a 1-yard carry.
Dane Robinson bringing the heat. He knows they're not going to throw the football. Their corners are not thinking pass at all. They're coming off the edge right at the new quarterback.
Here's an interesting dilemma. 4th and 12, you can elect to punt the football because you're backed up inside your own 15-yard line, and you cannot give the Atlanta offense a short field here. You've got to punt.
Get rid of the football, tee it up again another time. Maybe your quarterback will come back. You're right, it's time to punt the football.
You could see Chaz Duzon, the backup quarterback, lobbying the sideline, but it looks like Atlanta, or make that Chicago, will punt the football. And you got to do that. You got to try to stay within arm's reach of this Atlanta team.
The bad part is your number one defender, Kristen Morrison, is out of the ball game. Can you stop the Atlanta offense?
That's Emmer Vanderheeden, another rookie on this roster, back to punt. A high snap, and that is an ugly-looking punt. I'm not sure if that was deflected. That will net all of 3 yards.
That barely got past the line of scrimmage. Maybe they shouldn't have punted after seeing that disaster. Wow, what a break for Atlanta.
So Atlanta will take over at the 16-yard line, giving Dakota Hughes and company a very short field.
This game got ugly very quickly. After that first drive by Chicago, I thought they had a chance. If they hit that ball in the end zone, they tied the score. Now Atlanta has a chance to go up 3 scores.
I want you to score on this.
We talked about it in the pregame show. This definitely does not feel like an Atlanta Steam versus Chicago BLISS game. This would be a dogfight right now, and it looks like things are becoming unraveled for Chicago.
Absolutely. In a rivalry, you have to have 2 good teams. Right now, there's only 1.
1st and 10, an interesting-looking toss. That was kicked out to Key Tibbs, another rookie. That'll be a gain of 5 yards.
Not sure why Hulse isn't in the game right now. I know they want to get time to Key Higgs, but Hulse is coming back in. That's a good sign for Atlanta.
Let's go down to the sideline with Heidi Golznig.
Thanks, guys. After checking in with LFL Medical, it appears that Kristen Morrison has suffered a lower body serious injury. Her return is unlikely. Back to you guys.
Wow, that is a dagger to the Chicago defense. Without her in the middle, this is going to be a field game for Dakota Hughes in Atlanta.
2nd and 5 handoff. Aubrey Williams, who already has a touchdown tonight, breaks off an 8-yard carry.
Head coach Dane Robinson, he knows that Kristen Morrison is out, and he's attacking where she is supposed to be.
So now a 1st and goal after that 8-yard run by Aubrey Williams. Aubrey Williams wasn't really a contributor to Austin last year, but being featured in this offense.
Aubrey Williams, another weapon for Dane Robinson and Mark White with this Atlanta offense.
So a 1st and goal, release play. Jolie Afezikai, touchdown Atlanta.
What a pass by Dakota Hughes. She feathered it in there. Chaz Dusant was supposed to be on top of Afezikai. She's late getting to the ball. Afezikai just throw it high and she goes and gets it.
Yeah, it's 6'1". They have her listed at 6 feet, but apparently she's 6'1". What a target for Dakota Hughes.
I got to hand it to Afezikai. She worked hard during the offseason. I gave her a hard time last year about having hands of stone. She hasn't dropped one yet tonight.
And that's a toss right. Key Tibbs, all types of rookies contributing on the offensive side of the ball for Atlanta.
I can't tell you how big the loss of Kristen Morrison is. This defense is on skates going the wrong way right now.
So now, let's get a listen in to that sideline in Chicago.
Come here, Chance. Come on, take it. We ain't got penetration on shit. Not a lineman, not a linebacker. We ain't hitting no motherfucking gap. We keep getting out leverage. Your ass running from contact still. Chaz fucking up. Y'all want to listen? Look. They ain't here for me. They here for fucking y'all. You gotta get your shit together, man.
You can always look a team in the eyes and see how they're playing. There's absolutely no fire in that defense of Chicago. Really blasé. They don't want to play football right now.
Yeah, I believe they didn't think this was going to be the kind of buzzsaw that it's turned into. 24-0, and we're not even at halftime. That's a toss to JaVale Thompson, nowhere to go. Amber Clark playing an all-fantasy level early in the season here.
She's coming off the edge knowing they're not going to throw the football. She's blitzing every play. It's a complete disaster for Chicago right now. Their backup quarterback, Chaz Dusant, she took no snaps in practice because they're trying to get the rookie quarterback, Tamika Robinson, ready. Now Dusant has to play.
2nd and 10, and if they weren't throwing the ball with Tamika Robinson, I don't think they're going to throw with Chaz Dusant.
I'm pretty surprised that they throw it all because she probably doesn't even know the passing routes yet.
Yeah, this is a very young team. Keep in mind, when head coach Keith Hack, who's been here 9 years, parted ways with the team, they brought in another coach. This is the 2nd head coach of one off-season. That pass was intended for Deanna Hightower. A bit of frustration.
Stop doing that bullshit. Hey, she keeps doing that bullshit. She keeps hitting people after the fucking play, trash asshole. Because your fucking team is trash.
Lauren Ziegler talking trash. You gotta love it if you're an Atlanta fan. Nobody on Chicago wants to play right now. Dina Hightower, that ball wasn't badly thrown. She just didn't catch the football.
Yeah, Lauren Ziegler will definitely get under your skin. She's really looked at as a quiet, very classy player, but when we mic her up, she never disappoints.
Yeah, she'll kill you with success and throw a smile at you.
So now forced into a possible passing play. 3rd and 10 from the about 12-yard line. Dusan back to pass into the flat, nearly intercepted. That was the second ball right through the hands of Deanna Hightower.
The ball's thrown a little bit high, but you're right, twice in a row, the ball went right through Hightower's hands. You can't blame it on the quarterback.
Look, Hightower, there's a reason she didn't touch the field in the past couple years, and if that's your go-to receiver, you're in trouble. Atlanta up 24-0. Back to LFL football night. 2 minutes remain in the first half that is turned into a house of horrors for the Chicago BLISS.
They came out pretty tough with that opening drive right after the Atlanta score on the first play of the game. They almost made it a tie game. Now it looks like it's going to be a blowout.
So this is Amber Vanderheyden back to punt once again. Her previous only netted 3 yards. Vanderheyden gets under this one, and that's muffed. Nicole Holsey, who's had otherwise a great first half, muffs the punt.
Just the break Chicago needed. When would you think you're going to use a punt as an offensive weapon? But it worked. She muffed the ball. Chicago got it. They got a chance to get on the board right now.
That's Tasha Sloss getting on the football and giving Chicago an opportunity here.
Big chance for Chicago right now. Let's see who's the quarterback. They still have the backup in there right now.
Make that Jessica Smith, who was Johnny on the spot. Still a lot of time remaining, over a minute with a timeout, but no offense to speak of. Handoff to Javille Thompson, and this defense is keying in on Thompson right now.
Right now, Kate Meston, the center, is getting blown away. Anytime the defensive line can get penetration like that, it makes the running back bubble. It stops them from going north to south, going outside, and that's what happens.
You've got to get it in the air here at some point, and that's Tamika Robinson back in the game. So we'll see if they open it up here.
Great sign for Chicago. Tamika Robinson back in the game. She's a playmaker. She's not a great quarterback, but you put the ball in her hands, she'll make something happen.
So we've got a timeout down on the field. That timeout taken by Chicago. We'll take a listen in on the sideline of Atlanta.
I want to watch out for tight end releases to Hightower. Here. I want to go. Just keep it simple. Just go spike. Keep it simple. Like I said, watch for that tight end release from Hightower. Here we go.
Let's go, y'all.
Bounce back. Here we go.
Right here.
Here we go. Earn it on me. Earn it on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Defensive coordinator Dane Robinson telling his defense to watch that tight end release, Hightower. But if I'm Chicago, I'm not sure I'd throw that pass to Hightower. Twice it went through her hands.
2nd and goal now. Ball at the Atlanta 11-yard line. So the defense does have to remain in that 3-yard cushion till you get to the red zone. That is the 10-yard line. Javille Thompson in the backfield. They're going to fake it to Thompson. Inside handoff. Tori Giles all the way down to about the 3-yard line.
Finally, a little deception from Sid Lewis, the head coach of Chicago. A Y underneath almost got in.
Time out Atlanta.
Atlanta, interesting. Why are you calling a timeout here?
I'm not sure. Dane wants to regroup for some reason, but I don't know why either.
It's time out! Time out! Come here! Come here! Correct it. Open your fucking eyes and get the job done next time. If you don't get it done, I'll find somebody else that will. Open your eyes. Same thing, we go lock black, fill your gaps, contain your edges. I'm not gonna say it twice. Get it done here, all right? If they go, I think we can go 5 on.
Dane really upset with Afezikai on that inside trap right there. Free safety supposed to fill in. Afezikai did not. That was the biggest game of the night for Chicago.
Yeah, this defense, if you're struggling like this against a very inept Chicago offense at this point that has zero experience, That's got to be a source for concern.
I think this is a learning moment for Atlanta right now. He called timeout. He could have let the half run out. That's a learning moment for a team that's supposed to go far this year.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. I don't think that was strategic in terms of getting the ball back. That was just to regroup defensively. 3rd and goal now. Ball at the Atlanta 2-yard line. And you've got all 7 defenders in the box. That's Tamika Robinson. Who wants it more? Touchdown, Chicago.
Finally. Tamika Robinson with some help from Javelle Thompson pushing her in. We've seen that Chicago play before years back. Quarterback sneak and then push the quarterback in. Finally gets on the board. Who knows? Maybe they can make a comeback in the second half.
Not the sexiest offensive game plan here in the first half, but at least they got on the board and can build on this momentum going into the second half.
It's obvious this offense can't run without Tamika Robinson. No, it's not exciting, but they put points on the board.
So now Robinson and this Chicago offense, interestingly, going for 2 to try to make this a 3-score game. It's going to be tough against all 7 defenders stacked in the box against Atlanta. They're going to try to get the edge with the speed of Robinson, and they're going to convert. Chicago now capitalizing on that muffed punt. Draw closer, 24-8.
Tamika Robinson showing why she's the starting quarterback. She is a flat-out athlete. That was the worst design play ever. It was just out racing to the corner. Michelle Marshall couldn't keep up with her.
So now Atlanta will get the ball back. 1st and 10 at its own 15-yard line. And we have seen that this offense can score and score very quickly.
There's no doubt they're going to air it out right here with 29 seconds left.
That one timeout that Dane Robinson used defensively could have been really opportune here. 29 seconds, quick dump off. This is Lauren Ziegler in the open field. Kind of a shoelace tackle as the clock continues to run here.
That was a very interesting tunnel screen. It was a reverse out. We've never seen it run like that, but it worked.
Atlanta gonna just simply kill the clock. Dakota Hughes begging for an offsides call. So now a 2nd and 2, make it a 3rd and 2. Still plenty of time on the clock, but no timeouts for Atlanta.
I like the fire Atlanta has in them right now. A lot of teams would take it to the house. You're up 2 scores right now. Take it at halftime, but not Dakota Hughes. She wants points.
No, I think you've got to stay aggressive here. You had a Chicago team that's vying for the momentum. At this point, you've got to crush that momentum going into halftime.
You know what she likes to do? Somehow, some way, get the ball in Lauren Ziegler's hands.
3rd and 2 at the Atlanta 23-yard line. Hughes with a deep drop, rolling left. Defenders all around her and just overshooting her target. That'll set up a 4th and 2 now. What do? You got 2 seconds. Do you get out of the half or do you try to get something down the field?
If you know Lauren Ziegler and Dakota Hughes, they're going to go for it.
Hughes taking a wicked hit at the end of that play. It looks like Atlanta is going to stay aggressive here and possibly take another shot down the field.
Dakota Hughes, you look at her, she looks slim, she looks tall, but did you see the way she fended off defenders to get that pass away? She looked like Ben Roethlisberger.
We've got a timeout down on the field. Interesting, Chicago calling a timeout here. Probably trying to make sure a lot of these rookies in the secondary have the right assignment.
They have all-stars all across the board for receivers for Atlanta. You're right. They have a young defense. He's just going over who to cover. Don't let Ziegler open. 2 seconds left. Get to the house. Only down 2 scores.
Bro, I'm going to come straight uppercut that motherfucker. I swear to God. Swear to God she's going to get a kidney shot, too. And she's going to get fucking her knees taken out with a fucking crap. Watch. I'm going to chop off the fuck out of her. She don't know how to play. She don't know how to play. Learn how to get off a fucking block without hitting something in the fucking face. Fucking bush league ass shit.
Dina Wojcicki's certainly not shy in sharing her feelings.
I would not like to see Wojcicki walking down an alley by myself some night. Wow, I would not fight her.
So here we go, a 4th and 2. Dakota Hughes certainly has the arm to get this into the end zone. You got to think Lauren Ziegler is probably going to be your go-to target.
Lauren Ziegler or the new addition, Michelle Marshall. She's known for coming up with passes late in the game or late in the halftime like this.
You could see Marshall flanked out to the bottom of your screen. Lauren Ziegler at the top. Marshall in motion, rolling right. Dakota Hughes looking to Marshall. Complete. In the open field, Marshall down to the 5, to the 4. A touchdown saving tackle. And that will bring us to the end of the half. Finally, a stop by this Chicago defense.
That's unbelievable. Last year's cardiac kid was Michelle Marshall in Austin. Now the old cardiac kid throwing to the new cardiac kid. I love Michelle Marshall in Atlanta playing with Dakota Hughes. This is exciting to watch.
So Chicago making this a ball game late in the second quarter. We now go down to the field with Heidi Kolsnick.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Atlanta's lady linebacker, Dina Wojcicki. Dina, Atlanta looked as good as expected in that first half. Are you sending a message to the rest of the LFL?
I mean, really, we're all just trying to come out here and gel. I mean, obviously, it's the first time a lot of these girls are playing together, so we got to come up here, set pace, set tempo. I think we're doing that, establishing the line. Fucking playing good D. Sorry, cuss. My bad. yeah, it looks good. The shit looks good.
Best of luck in the second half. Back to you guys.
So that's Dina Wojcicki dropping F-bombs on national television. As we go into halftime, the Atlanta Steam with a commanding 24-8 lead. Back with halftime festivities after this.
Like, there's nothing to it. Defense, keep it up. We have to fucking block. I'm getting my ass kicked. Kicked. You can't just patty cake and get the fuck on. Stay on your blocks. They bitching us right now. They are literally bitching us right now. Come on, y'all. Hey, just wait the fuck up, y'all. Let's go. We got a player down right now. They don't get no fuck. The game still goes on. We playing for her right now.
Frustration inside the Chicago BLISS locker room as we welcome you back to LFL football night. Mitch Mortaza and Bobby Huco. Bobby, we knew Chicago was going to struggle in this one with a revamped lineup, new coaching staff, but did you expect this?
My expectations were certainly tempered. During the offseason, they had 2 coaching changes, lost all their key players, and quite frankly, in the first half, looked like the bad news Bears. They ran the ball. They didn't throw the ball at all. In turn, Dane Robinson, the defensive coordinator for Atlanta, put everybody in the box. They held Chicago to 39 yards rushing on 15 attempts. Terrible.
Now, that's only, what, 2.6 yards per carry? You see how quickly I did that math? I don't know if I can take credit for it. That was our producer. 2.6 yards per carry. You're not going to win any football games in the LFL with that kind of average. For the Atlanta Steam, no such struggles offensively. Very balanced, in fact. 7 rushes on 9 pass attempts. And the cardiac kid, Dakota Hughes, she's looking like she's in mid-season form right now.
Absolutely. There's no quarterback comparison. You have a rookie's first-time starter tonight, Tamika Robinson. Then you have maybe the elite quarterback in the LFL going 7 out of 9 in the first half, Dakota Hughes. And how about Nicole Holsey out of nowhere, 29 yards rushing, 7.2 yards per carry. I didn't even know who she was.
Yeah, Holsey did a bit of everything except for scoring in the first half, but her teammates did oblige the scoreboard as we look at the first half touchdowns. Lauren Ziegler got us started early, taking this simple slant pattern to the house. 35-yard connection with Dakota Hughes. In the second quarter, Aubrey Williams, the free agent signee from the Austin Acoustic, with an impressive diving touchdown reception from Hughes. That stretched Atlanta's lead to 16-0. With 4 minutes remaining, it was the lanky wide receiver, Jolie Afezikai, a 3-yard touchdown pass from Dakota Hughes. Hughes' 3rd touchdown pass of the half. Chicago did score late with 29 seconds remaining, capitalizing on that muff punt by Nicole Holsey. Tamika Robinson taking it in from 2 yards out. That brings us to our halftime score of 24-8 as we look at the halftime stats.
What really stands out is the total yards. Offensively, Atlanta dominating with 130 first half yards, while the woeful Chicago offense only managed 39 yards despite over 14 minutes of possession time.
Chicago will need to capitalize on that time of possession to have any chance at rallying. Here we go. The second half is next. Back to second half action of LFL football night as we look at our impact players.
For Chicago, Javelle Thompson, 28 yards, a 2.5-yard average. That's not very good. For Atlanta, Lauren Ziegler, 2 receptions, 43 yards, including that bomb, 35-yard touchdown pass. Ziggs is doing good, but more importantly, I'm impressed with Nicole Hulse. She has 4 runs, 29 yards, 7.2 average. Wow.
I think the only bit of good news you can take from the first half, if you're a Chicago BLISS fan, is that young lady, Tamika Robinson, is back in the game.
She's in the game. She's an impact player. She has not completed a pass, which is on the coach's fault. I'd like to see her throw, but we'll see how she plays in the second half.
1st and 10, ball at the 15 of Chicago. And here we go. We may get our first pass of the night. Tamika Robinson from the shotgun, looking left into the flat and well short. Again, pass intended for Deanna Hightower. Perhaps they've seen something in Hightower that we haven't seen in the last 2 years.
They have no offensive passing scheme at all. I mean, you got to blame Sid Lewis. He's got to put a mirror right in front of himself. That's who's to blame, his offense. That was double coverage. She was thrown and nobody was open, and the play design was horrible.
2nd and 10, that's Javelle Thompson in the backfield. Thompson did manage 28 yards, and we've got our first penalty of the night. You can see Dina Wojcicki kicking the ball over. We'll hear from our head referee, Dane Washington.
False start, offense.
All right, so we've got a false start on Chicago, not the way you'd want to start the second half. That'll back them up and make it a 2nd and 15.
Not at all. The whole Chicago offense has been Javelle Thompson. Right there, they tried to throw the football, but the scheme's not there. They're going backwards right now.
This looks like Tamika Robinson coming late back into the game. You could see just a lot of confusion. This team is not ready for prime time. That is obvious. 2nd and 15, Robinson under center. The ball goes to Javelle Thompson, and Thompson getting into the second layer of the defense. That was a good-looking 7-yard carry.
The play itself didn't look good at all. There was no blocking. Javelle Thompson showing her athleticism right there. I love the way she converts speed to power and goes around the outside to get 7 yards when nothing was there.
Yeah, that'll set up a 3rd and 8. Keep in mind, Atlanta, supposed to be one of the better defenses in the LFL, and that's Dane Robinson, the defensive coordinator. They're having a bit of difficulty, at least against the run game.
Right now, they're stacking the box because they haven't tried one deep pass. Look where the safeties are.
And look at this, just pure confusion. There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason in the Chicago offense. It's literally snap the ball back, and this is Sandlot football.
Chill out,
Oh, they're throwing hands.
Chill out, bro. Chill out, bro. Chill out. Chill out. Relax. Everybody relax.
Dina Hightower throwing hands. That's the only thing that Chicago's doing right now is fighting. They're not playing much football.
So we've got a 4th and 2 now. Really, you're out of options. You can't throw the ball. That's become abundantly obvious, so you've got to keep it on the ground at this point.
You have to have that threat, though. Look at the secondary of Atlanta. They are all up on the line of scrimmage except for Ziegler. They have not attempted one deep pass. They know they're running the football.
So Chaz Duzon back in the game at quarterback. The 5'9", 160-pound quarterback, a Cam Newton type, so she may run it here herself. Snap back, looking into the flat, not even close. Pass intended once again for Deanna Hightower.
I don't want to laugh, but that's the 4th ball going toward Hightower. 0 completions. There's 0 scheme. It's just like a quick out.
So a turnover on downs. Atlanta has had excellent field position all night. And it's simply because Chicago has not been able to move the ball offensively.
Both quarterbacks, Chaz Duson and Tamika Robinson, they look like they get a little airsick when it gets choppy out there because they don't stay in the pocket and throw it. Nothing's been completed so far.
1st and 10. They're going to keep it on the ground. That's Nicole Hulse picking up where she left off in the first half.
I'm going to tell you what, Nicole Hulse is showing me a lot tonight, but up front, the blocking with Wojo, Efezikai, and Williams, they are clearing out Chicago's defensive line.
And Chicago's not exactly small in stature defensively, but they are just being manhandled up front.
I love the way offensive coordinator Dane Robinson is attacking the weakness in the Chicago defense, and that is Kristen Morrison not being there. There we go again.
Nicole Hulse, back-to-back big runs, 9 yards on the first carry. Another 8 on this one. That'll set up a 1st and goal for Atlanta.
Chaz Duson, the free safety, late to the party again. She can't get to Hulse. Watch Hulse make a cut right here. It's not till 8 yards down the field where Chaz comes in, the free safety. She has to plug that hole up.
It just appears like Chicago doesn't even want to tackle. You can see once they get to the runner, they don't fully wrap up. They're not really committed.
They're not coached right. Look at Atlanta, the secondary. Ziegler comes up quick, makes tackles. Chicago's secondary doesn't even come up.
That's a 1st and goal toss play. Nicole Hulse, this time able to contain Hulse, or at least limit her to a 4-yard carry.
Hulse is not big in stature, but she has all the measurables at running back. She can cut, she has great eyes, she can read holes. I like her a lot in that backfield.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Listed at 5 feet tall, 109 pounds, soaking wet from Detroit, Michigan, making a huge impact here.
You can't measure Hulse in weight. You can measure by her heart, though.
2nd and goal handoff. They're going to go to the power back. That's Alfie Gore. That Chicago defense finally standing up, led by Tate Blase.
It's over.
Hey, get the fuck off of her! We gotta get the fuck off of her! You don't want none, bitch!
Lauren Ziegler trying to intimidate this young Chicago offense. A good stop by that defense, though. That'll set up a 3rd and goal.
Did you see number 9, Labrinthia Murdoch? Ziegler started yelling at her. She backed off like a scared cat.
Yeah, I think they're overmatched. These are deer in headlights, the Chicago Bliss, and we're not used to saying that.
I love the attitude, on the other hand, for Atlanta. They're playing like a championship team, a team that wants a championship. They're playing hard.
Yeah, you don't get to set your schedule. You play who's on your schedule. We didn't know Chicago was going to be in a rebuilding mode like this. Chicago, at least Atlanta, is doing what they're supposed to be doing at this point.
One team is playing tonight, and that's Atlanta.
3rd and goal, ball at the 2. Hughes going to keep it herself. That's Nicole Hulse, could not hold her block. Hughes will lose 3 yards on the carry.
Tate Blase making a name for herself on defense. That's some aggressive play by the Chicago defender right there. That's the first we've seen all night.
You could see on the outside, that's Nicole Hulse trying to hold her block against Kim Randall. But Randall and number 12, Tate Blase, forcing Hughes out of bounds.
That's aggressive defense. I like it. Maybe they can keep it up and stop this team from going in.
4th and goal. They're going to go back to the workhorse. Nicole Hulse. Hulse trying to use that speed, but could not get into the end zone. So hold the presses here, Bobby Huco. The Chicago Bliss defense holds.
They hold. I like it a lot.
Good
the coach
stop.
right there, he's fired up.
There you go, get fired up. Good stop. Come in. You got to be the other side. You lining up on this side. We overloaded on this side. You got to be the other side.
He wants me to go that side. She says easy for
Well,
her
we got
to
to
block
kick
her in.
down then. We got to kick down. You can't be overloaded. We have nobody on that side. Come on.
Remember in the first half when Coach Sid Lewis was talking to his team, nobody was looking at him in the eye, there was no fire. Right now, that team has some fire in it. I like it. Maybe they'll play better here in the 4th quarter.
You know, we saw a spark like this last week in the Los Angeles versus Seattle game. Seattle was about to put the final nail in the coffin, and you remember that 4th and goal stand against Stevie Schnorr. Couldn't play out again here.
Tamika Robinson, you can see, has a hop to her step right now. The offense looks like they're fired up, staring her in the eye. Let's see if they can move the football.
First and 10, the Chicago offense backed up inside their own 1 yard line. That's Robinson under center. Handoff to JaVale Thompson, and can Thompson get out of the end zone? Yeah, they're gonna give her forward progress at about the 1 yard line.
Amber Clark from the corner position. She's like a heat-seeking missile coming in there strong, almost caught her in the end zone for a safety.
JaVale Thompson is just being teed off on right now because there's absolutely no threat of a passing game.
If you're the defensive coordinator, Dane Robinson, you know they're not throwing the football. You can bring your safeties, all of them, up to the line of scrimmage and go right after the quarterback or JaVale Thompson.
So a 2nd and 9 as we're under 1 minute remaining here in the third quarter. Tamika Robinson remains in under center. A Y handoff. That was fumbled and picked up. Tori Giles. Finally, some positive yardage. A carry of 10 yards and a first down.
That's a great play for them. That's the most successful play all night. They had an 8-yard run in the first half. It's a Y under. She fumbles the football, but makes an athletic play, picks it up for big yardage.
You're starting to see a little more confidence on the Chicago side of the ball, and it all stems from that 4th down goal line stand, I think.
You were so right. You hit the nail on the head, just like we saw in Los Angeles. That fired up the team, and Chicago looks like a totally different team right now.
It doesn't look like Chicago's going to get the play off as we finish up 3 quarters of play here in Chicago, Illinois, with the BLISS surging back.
When your number is called tonight, step up and make a name for yourself.
Speak about all the people who doubt you, who say you can't, and go prove them wrong.
This is not about who left this team. It's not about who came back. It's about who's here right now. Now we have to play like we've never played before, ladies.
This isn't just football. This is family, sisterhood. It's your life. It's how you live your life.
Look to the girl next to you and fight for your life. Fight for the girl who's sitting next to you in this huddle right now.
This is all meant to be. Every single one of you is here tonight because of a purpose.
We can do this. I know we can.
This is the last time I'm going to tell you that I'm going to let you down because I will not do it again.
Let them understand that we are not here to play games with them. This is our game.
Give it everything you have because all we got is 10 minutes. That's all we got.
Hey, you got 1 more quarter. Nothing changes. You have to earn it. Earn it on me, earn it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Relax, relax.
Back to LFL football night as Dane Robinson encourages his team to hold on as Chicago is trying to mount a rally here.
When I spoke to head coach Dane Robinson before the game, he said over the years, many times they have big leads going into the fourth quarter, then lose the game. He's trying to teach his team to own the fourth quarter.
1st and 10, ball at the 12. Robinson from the shotgun, buying time, looking down the field. Intercepted. Lauren Ziegler, like a center fielder, just what Chicago was hoping to avoid after building some momentum at the end of the third quarter.
You know, right now Robinson's playing the quarterback position, but just because you watch Bruce Lee movies doesn't mean you know karate. Bad throw.
How about the effort on the Hall of Fame safety, Lauren Ziegler, to get her hands under that football? In fact, our own Heidi Golznick sat down with Ziegler to talk about her LFL journey.
Lauren, you have enjoyed a storied career in the LFL, including Hall of Fame induction. Entering your 9th year in the LFL, describe how the journey has been for you.
This journey's been everything to me. You know, I get to play a sport that I love, but more than that, I've created relationships and friendships that I will treasure forever. Dakota Hughes, my best friend. She'll be in my wedding. She'll be my maid of honor. Dina, Adrian, people that have changed how I do things in life, you know, and gave me the confidence to be the person that I am today. The Hall of Fame. I've played so many sports and been excellent at so many things in life, but this is something that I felt like all my hard work actually paid off, you know, and I could be a pioneer for this league to where You know, 10 years from now, girls will be like, I remember that girl. I used to watch her when I was little. You know, that's something that I treasure, you know, and to be able to do this in front of thousands of people every weekend, it's something I will treasure forever.
Just a class act. Lauren Ziegler been doing this 9 years in the LFL, class on and off the field. There's nobody better than Lauren Ziegler.
And you know what? She's young enough where I don't see the end of the road for Lauren Ziegler. She's got possibly another 3, 4, 5 years of football ahead of her in the LFL.
When I spoke with head coach Dane Robinson, he said the same thing about quarterback Dakota Hughes. She came in the league at 18. She's only 24. She's a good 5 years left also if she wants to play.
Now it looks like Chicago maybe has 6 defenders out on the field. Unbelievable personnel issues now. Now a safety comes in. That safety was playing about 20 yards deep. Nonetheless, Jolie Afezikai hauling in an 18-yard reception. Afezikai having quite the night.
Afezikai looks great. She's got 2 receptions, 21 yards, 1 TD, and more importantly, no drops. She dropped a lot of balls last year.
Absolutely. There was that bit of lack of confidence in Afezikai. At least early on, she's dispelled all of that. That's Alfie Gore showing some muscle, and she may have lost the football here. They're going to give her credit for only a 2-yard carry. I thought she got a lot more than that. She does come up with the football.
Great cut to get around. Kim Randall came flying in, could have got Gore for a big loss. She made a boom, jump cut, got right in for more yardage. Great run.
So the ball's down at the 2-yard line, setting up a 2nd and goal. You got to figure if Atlanta gets it in here with how inept the Chicago offense has been, it's the final nail in the coffin.
This game's been over for a long time. The offensive scheme for Chicago is like if it's a high school game or something. They're not throwing the football. They're not a threat to Atlanta. Javelle Thompson is good, but she can't win this game on her own.
2nd and goal, ball at the 2. Lauren Ziegler flanked to the right of the screen. Now you've got Aubrey Williams and Alfie Gore in the backfield. They're going to go to Gore. No, they're going to give it to Williams. Williams fumbled the ball. I don't even think she was expecting the handoff.
There was definite miscommunication between Dakota Hughes and Gore. Hughes handed her football, but she was trying to block. They got lucky getting the ball back.
Aubrey Williams just didn't look comfortable in the backfield. You could see Dakota Hughes wanting the sideline to challenge it, because I'm not sure anybody touched Alfie Gore after she recovered that fumble. She kind of crawled into the end zone.
Dane Robinson should have challenged that. Nobody did touch her. She crawled in.
So a 3rd and goal, same set. Lauren Ziegler flanked to outside of your screen. That's Aubrey Williams and Alfie Gore. Again to Williams. What a hit at the goal line. That was delivered by Chaz Dusson, but they're going to give Williams the touchdown.
What a hit. Finally, Dusson came up and made a great hit, but it's too late. Williams crossed the plane, but a great stick.
Williams paying the price. We talked about Williams coming over from Austin, part of a couple free agents that they picked up, Michelle Marshall. Interestingly enough, they also signed Leilani Lopez, but that ultimately did not work out, as Atlanta now sets up for a 2-point conversion. From under center, they're going to go to Hulls. Hulls trying to find a hole. I think if there's been one bright spot, it's been the play of Chaz Dusson, at least defensively for Chicago.
Chaz Dusson is a different player here in the second half. She got a lot more fire. Again, it's only her first game.
Don't want it, babe. Just chill out.
That's Dina Wojcicki. You could see this Atlanta team is starting to feel itself now. Up 30-8 with 5:39 remaining here in the 4th quarter.
I'm going to tell you what, the free agents for Atlanta, Michelle Marshall and Aubrey, I'm telling you what, they might make a run for the title this year because of the 2 free agents.
Well, at least in the Eastern Conference, you're dealing with the Chicago Bliss. We can see they're a bit of a mess, at least at this point in the season. Then you've got the Nashville Knights, who are the unknown. They lost all of their free agents back to Seattle. And then you've got the Omaha Heart, who's the ultimate wild card. So you got to say Atlanta, as it stands, is the predominant leader in the Eastern Conference.
I'm really impressed from top to bottom. Dane Robinson and Mark White put together quite the team. But as always, will they finish the deal?
That's it. They're the best regular season team in LFL history. When they get into the postseason, that is when Atlanta struggles.
All the talent in the world, they get there and then they fail. That's why Dakota Hughes came back. That's why Wojo came back. That's why Ziegler came back, to go over the hump and finally win the title.
2nd and 6 now, ball at the Chicago 19-yard line. Game pretty much in hand for the Atlanta Steam. Chicago just trying to build momentum going into week 2. That's an open receiver, dropped by Labyrinthia Murdoch.
Murdoch had the coverage beat. Finally, Chicago opens it up. Where was this in the first quarter? A great pass by Tamika Robinson. She stood in the pocket, delivered a strike. Again, Chicago just can't catch the football.
That'll set up a 3rd and 6. That was possibly the best looking pass we've seen from Tamika Robinson all night.
Why would Sid Lewis wait till the 4th quarter, you're down 30-8, and then finally open up the passing game? It looked okay. They should have done that early in the game.
Yeah, I think one of the big concerns for Chicago is the way they're using personnel. I visited this team during training camp, and I can tell you there are several pieces that are currently on the sideline that should be contributing on the field. And I got to tell you, Dina Hightower is not one of those.
Dina Hightower, I'll tell you what, she dropped 2 balls right there, no yardage. But Sid Lewis, you're right, he's got to assess this team. Figure out who's a player, who's not a player, who's going to win for him, because they have some talent, but they're just not showing it.
Great open field tackle there, chomping down Deanna Hightower. Is the free agent pickup Michelle Marshall from Austin.
Michelle Marshall, she has all the intangibles, offensively and defensively.
4th and 5, looking down the field, and this time, Murdoch. Labyrinthia Murdoch not dropping this one, so they went back to the same play.
Tamika Robinson stays in the pocket, delivers a strike under Lauren Ziegler. Perfect pass to Murdoch. Chicago looking like an offense right now.
That'll set up Chicago 1st and goal inside the red zone. Ball is about the 9-yard line. An empty back set. You can see a little more confidence with Robinson under pressure. Now trying to make something happen with her legs. Great impact running over Lauren Ziegler. Let's listen in.
That's just 2 great athletes playing football. I love plays like that. Ziegler made a great tackle. Tamika Robinson tried to run her over. That's LFL football.
You know, we didn't like the performance from the quarterback position from Tamika Robinson to this point. She obviously is not coached up at the position, but I like her leadership and I like how she plays gutsy.
She is a gutsy quarterback. Again, I blame the coach, Sid Lewis. He's got to put a better scheme on this offense. The talent's there.
2nd and goal. That was a 1-yard carry by Javille Thompson. As we have approached the 2-minute mark of the 4th quarter, back for the final 2 minutes after this. Back to LFL football night, and next week, we're in the Mile High City as the Denver Dream host the Los Angeles Temptation.
Denver had a great offseason. I'm really anxious to see how they play against Los Angeles.
Meanwhile, 2 minutes remain in this game from Chicago as the BLISS finally are building some momentum. 3rd and goal at the 5, handoff, Emma Vanderheiden. Vanderheiden managing to get it down to about the 1-yard line.
What a block by Kate Meston, the center, just blowing people away. It looks like a different Chicago team late in the 4th quarter here.
You know, you mentioned something while we were in break. Why isn't Javille Thompson in this game right now?
That's a great point. Sid Lewis, we said he's not doing a great job coaching for Chicago. Javille Thompson is a great running back. We know that from the last couple years, and she's not in the ballgame.
And now you've got all 7 defenders stacked at the line of scrimmage on a 4th and goal. Tamika Robinson is not going to get there. Great interior defense by Atlanta.
Quarterback sneak, the same play they scored on in the first quarter. They tried to push her in. They're not strong enough.
Fucking trash. Trash, bitch.
The Atlanta defense preserving their lead 30-8. We come back for the final minute of football. Back to LFL football night. You can see Lauren Ziegler and Dane Robinson having some fun on the sideline. I really think Atlanta is sending a message, not only to the Eastern Conference, but perhaps also throughout the league.
Absolutely. If I'm in Austin right now, if I'm in LA, if I'm everywhere, Atlanta's for real this year. Lauren Ziegler is back playing better football than she ever has. This team's for real.
You can see Dakota Hughes still in the game for the final minute 17. What do you do here? Maybe take a knee and get out of here?
It's Dakota Hughes and Dane Robinson. They're going to try to score. They're not taking any knees at all.
So a 1st and 10, ball at the Atlanta 3-yard line. A full backfield set. Handoff. That's Key Tibbs. And I tell you what, Tibbs quietly is having a pretty good night. That was a 9-yard carry.
Every time Tibbs touches a football, she makes positive yardage. She's making a name for herself. She wants more playing time.
Yeah, they've got a pair of good backs that they've identified tonight, namely Nicole Hulse and now Key Tibbs.
Key Tibbs, man, we don't talk about her a lot, but she's fired up to be in the game this late. Look at her. She wants the ball.
2nd and 1, ball at the Atlanta 12-yard line. And now we've got a lot of rookies in the game for Atlanta. That is number 2, Kristen Mattis. Mattis not able to get the edge. No gain on the play as the clock. Now we're nearing the 30-second mark.
She's a tough player. We haven't heard much about her. Her nickname is Mad Dog Mattis. She can play when she is in the game.
So that'll set up a 3rd and 1. Apparently Atlanta is keen to put some more points on the board instead of just getting out of here. This is Dakota Hughes from the shotgun, an ill-advised toss. Tibbs lit up. And this is what I don't understand. If you're Dane Robinson, why not take a knee if that's the play call?
If you're going to run that conservative play, yeah, take a knee, get rid of this game. But if you're going to play, throw it deep to the receivers. Try to score some points.
Yeah, I guess everybody's in first game of the season mode. And there's a look of disgust on Tamika Robinson. And more importantly, Kristen Morrison, still on the sideline. We'll try to get an injury report on her before the night is out.
Chicago sorely missed her tonight on defense. They went right up the gut all night long. There was nobody to stop her, stop anybody with Morrison out.
This should be the final play of the game, 18 seconds. That's Atlanta keeping it on the ground with Melody Wyatt. Wyatt getting her first action of the night. So Atlanta comes on the road in Chicago to take on their rival. Obviously not the same Chicago BLISS they're used to, and they pick up a pretty big road win.
Atlanta showed the LFL who they are. It's the opening night for them, but they played solid football. Really impressed with the quarterback, Dakota Hughes. She's on fire coming back into the season. 3 touchdown passes today. I'm anxious to see how far these teams go.
And for Chicago, not a lot of time to lick your wounds. They will be in Austin in 2 weeks. The road doesn't get much easier.
They got to step their game up. They have a hard schedule. This team right here cannot beat Austin or anybody right now until they get that offense on track.
Winning the Legends Cup last year, they're going to have the toughest schedule. Let's go down to the field with Heidi.
Guys, I'm with Atlanta's victorious signal caller, Dakota Hughes. Dakota, it appears you guys have established yourselves as the team in the Eastern Conference. How much confidence will this give you guys?
I mean, it's obviously great to have a win. I am pretty disappointed in our play, if I'm being honest. I'm a perfectionist, and I don't like how we displayed ourselves on offense and defense. I'll give credit when credit's due. You know, it was good, but it's a first game. It's always going to be a little bit sloppier than as the season progresses. So we'll work on those little things. I'm not worried about it. So we'll just be ready to get better. So.
All right. Despite the lack of perfection, congrats on the huge road win. Back to you guys.
Now that's a quarterback. You talk about a quarterback on a mission. She was 9 out of 11. 3 touchdown passes. They won 30-8, and she's not happy. I got a feeling Atlanta's going to show some people they can win a title this year.
And you got to be encouraged if you're an Atlanta fan by some of the key contributions from rookies. We saw Nicole Hulse. We saw Key Tibbs. this could be the year in Atlanta.
How many years have we said that?
That's right. We will find out. But for this game in Chicago, Illinois, a night that started with a championship banner unveiling, ended in a horror movie for the Chicago BLISS, losing 30-8 to their rival, the Atlanta Steam. For my partner, Bobby Huco, our sideline reporter, Heidi Golznig, this is Mitch Mortaza. We will see you next week from Denver.